scale of 1 to soil my trousers violently, how concerned should I be about this whole rift situation?
Smart researchers patronize the scientician's surplus.
Strange to see all this vacant space after the overcrowding at Matriarch's Mercy. Plenty of room for refugees here. If only the Order administrants got their act together.
The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential Order personnel.
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? You've no doubt heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Sub Rosa benefits from all the knowledge it can acquire. I can tell you no more than that. We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting.
unit has some questions for Agent Delgado, also known as the Endpoint.
No need to be so formal, my mechanical friend. Marisol is fine. Now, what would you like to know?
How many persons have you eliminated in the course of your work for
Our
the
technician...
Order?
Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting. But as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. Evidently so. Satellites from our magnificent Hyperion reticulum do not tumble so gracelessly down from the skies every day. Some might label me mistrustful, but I wonder at your sudden assignment to this matter. Your tardiness, too, invites questions. It raises doubt you are even who you presume to be. Both the corporatists and those underhanded smugglers, sub rosa, have attempted to infiltrate our ranks before, embedding their own operatives. Not that they have ever been truly successful, of course. The Protectorate is mightily impregnable. Any true subject would easily spot a cuckoo in the nest. Not ordinarily, no, but we are at war. These are uncommon circumstances, and you have not given me sufficient reason to trust you. I knew it! The only place you'll be departing for is the hereafter! Guards, attack this interloper! They cannot be allowed to reveal the location of the crash site!
Threat detected.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Standing by to stupefy.
Our technician manifest. Halt there. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. What? Spare me your technical argot and hop to it then!
Commander, I have news. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the Consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable.
People are gonna start to talk. Aren't you reliable? I just need one moment to copy the data. There, all done. Thank you ever so much. Was there anything else you wish to discuss? No need to wait for permission. Ask them. My left pinky feels a little tingly. All jesting aside, no. I learned it's best not to exceed a moderate amount of caring when it comes to the actions of others. You'll only be disappointed. People are gonna start to talk, and I...
I look forward to the reclamation of now. How might we be of use to—
Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been!
Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Ah, you've made such progress moving us toward an Order Anti's Choice alliance. Everything seems to be going according to the plan so far. But we approach a critical juncture. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. If you continue working for the Order alone, it will likely burn any possible bridge with Anti's Choice. So this is our last and only chance. That's not exactly the most reassuring attitude I'd expect you to have. But I am glad we remain firmly in agreement. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance. Only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. but I trusted the plan. And lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Sorry to disappoint. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Were it so easy, delegates would not have been required prior to now. Don't feel ashamed. Not even my own laureates can move me on certain matters. I will speak with Levin and tell him to cease all transmissions with the undisputed claim immediately. The Order does not require a corporation's help to win this war. But now, let us move on from this discussion. The Archive remains at the forefront of my mind, as it must be on yours, or else you would not be here. Then I await your correction. Why are you here? A side effect of always being right, I fear. I sense your reticence to reveal your true mission. But if I may offer my own theory, you have some need to access the Archive, which means one of two things. Either there is data you want processed, or a question you need answered. Likely both. There is causation and correlation. There is no such thing as luck. Until the Order has control over the Archive again, this discussion is all but moot. Charmingly put. But yes, I do. Any way I interpret the numbers, it is obvious the plan brought you here to deliver the Archive out of Protectorate subjugation and back into Order hands. But before we go further, you should be aware, by aligning yourself with us in this matter, Auntie's Choice will almost assuredly see you as a threat to their interests. Are you prepared to accept that consequence? It will be a mutually beneficial arrangement, I can assure you. Let us now discuss the particulars of what will be required to reclaim the Archive. Fortunately, I have given this some thought, and already have a strategy in place. First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the Archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the Archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the Archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the Archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Nothing more is writ on my chalkboard at the moment. Rest assured, I have already provided you with everything you require to accomplish our desired ends. Exemplars will accompany you in any direct assault on Spirton. But to increase our chances of success and minimize casualties, might I recommend a more indirect approach? Take this access card. It opens a discreet side entrance on the western side of Spirton, just past a collapsed portion of the outer wall. Once inside, it may be possible to divert power from the Protectorate's turrets via a nearby terminal. The same card should grant you access to the building housing the terminal. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all... in this together.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have, and
Professor Ostergaard making a mess of things again.
Our enemies
Scoping out a hostile.
disdain our sense of community.
I, too, would never question the paradigm. Perhaps a brief visit to mental refreshment would put him on track.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Preserve set...
preservation a priority.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer. At our contentment.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
Ah, precisely. I was informed to expect you here and now by Presiding Bishop Bassar herself. Thus, it is so, as predicted. It is time, yes, that we commit our forces to your intended assault on Spyreton? The predicted hour/minute/second has arrived. Onward to Spyreton. Our scheduled reinforcements should be here in no time. I'm sure they'll arrive at the most optimal moment.
detected. Conclusion. Spyreton has been liberated.
Changing hands several times now, but may circumstances proceed to unintended results.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a...
Look a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Remember, all subjects...
Assessor Ostergaard making a mess of things again.
The console.
Combatant observed. hostile.
Parasites!
Target analyzed. Lay down for... Check your scope. Combatant analysis.
Subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent
Non-friendly life form detected.
Once over. Don't like the sound of that at all.
provides, the system abides.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Refuse medical support.
Just a good idea. It's the law.
Moving in close.
This unit is concerned for the commander's well-being.
Target. I repudiate.
Thank you.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all...
Engaging aesthetics appreciation.
Calcaduceus, not detected. Entry kindly, yet firmly declined.
What was in those rations? Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. I have been better. Much better. Forgive me. I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Oh, you poor man. I sincerely hope we don't have to shoot you.
I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Certainly. I recognize I am in no position to bargain, despite the fact it will no doubt earn me mental refreshment at best. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage.
The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot! Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulations. Be warned. You may find it a temperamental machine. Yeah. Some maintenance may be required.
Calcaduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated.
Is there a
Concluded.
curativist
Authorizing
house?
replacement.
I
Reading
feel rather
sentient.
woogly.
Welcome to the Archive. I am EUENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. Effectively, that is correct. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement, to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
Is it broken? Did you just break the Archive?
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
Facetious employment of sarcasm, a determinably lesser form of humor detected. Ignoring. Presuming converse meaning and intent. Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's Choice operators. I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations. Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern. It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the order of the Ascendant. The sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation. When active, the Archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior and a surface reservoir. I can process the rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of Cravels have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it. Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
Order would strongly be against damaging the Archive, incidentally or intentionally.
It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Some categorical overspill inevitably occurs. Attempts by non-order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues. Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork.
Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I've unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Sears Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
Set progress. Sustain the system.
Hold fire! This one looks friendly. Watch yourself. You came from the outside. Does that mean we can finally escape? What? Oh, you must be another case of hypothermia. Extreme prolonged exposure to the cold certainly does terrible things to our brain. It's because the Archive controls the surface lifts, which are the only way in or out. And once the Protectorate retook the machine, they locked out all external access. Now, for more than a month, we've all been trapped in these caves, Order and Antes alike, scrounging for food, huddling for warmth, and desperately trying to stay alive. You're what? How? The odds of you successfully doing what our whole army could not is, well, it's preposterously small. Yet, here you are. Regardless, if we are to maximize your odds of success, you should at least let us share our intelligence with you. You'll want to speak with Provost Finch inside that building to the northeast. She has a better understanding of all the variables in play. Though I would be absolutely ecstatic to offer you any information I have that would increase the odds of your success. May the universal Watch yourself!
Corporate drones and my academic cohort united in a common cause? My, but we are living in interesting times.
Calcaduceus detected. You are clear to enter thermal transfer. Be advised that an anti-choice field manager is present and unaccounted for.
Unorthodox at best. Protectorate engineers. Reckon they didn't repair much. Pump mechanism needs repair. Any tools lying around?
Sequencing attack strategies.
Not the optimal use of ammunition.
Calcaduceus detected. You are clear to enter thermal transfer. Be advised that an anti-choice field manager is present.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Protectorate and years. Reckon they didn't repair much. Pump mechanism needs repair. Any tools lying around? Any tools lying around? I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Confronting threat. with life support.
Fortification in progress. Mitigating the threat. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Looks like it needs a fuse. A specific kind.
State. Now to activate the system. Engaging hostile.
thermal transfer is fully operational. Later, when I process your data, I will not melt down. Please proceed to cold storage to re-enable punch card retrieval.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Weapon ready, Commander. Consider self-preservation a priority. Back and scan.
Conceivably, something dangerous or disruptive. Confrontation state. Atlas, you've suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Yeah, who are you kidding? If you ain't cutthroat enough to turn the big profit, you ain't cutthroat enough to try anything on me.
Really? You think that's the right tone to take? You may be ruthless in selling out your partners.
I don't care what you threaten me with. Not only am I smart for taking these supplies, but I'm following Auntie's laws. When scarcity begins closing its fist...
Is the perfect time for aggressive capitalists. Buy cheap, hold long, and sell high, and you'll maximize your profits. Don't quote Auntie's laws of dystopian disruption to me. I'm the one who taught you those damn laws, and I hardly imagine she meant to apply them when it is literally a matter of our life or death.
Whoa, who are you? How'd you get past the landmines?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Killing both of us and taking this stuff would have been easier than getting kids hooked on candy tobacco. I caught this one hoarding supplies, despite agreeing that there'd be better profit to be had if we pool everything we've got. Ever since the lifts locked down, this pile of sprat excrement has been sneaking off at night to move some of our shared inventory into a little bonus stash only they know about.
You're only mad you didn't think to do it first. The fact that I'm the most up-and-coming go-getter is what's getting you steamed. Admit it. You're jealous.
Why would I be? Once I cram your cold body into a vacuum tube, I'm taking all your stuff. I figured you'd see it my way. You may want to step back to keep the blood off your shoes.
But I'm living up to Auntie's principles. We all know we should deeply gouge to create future earnings. Don't be bitter just because I'm the one who actually did it.
I guess you chose to swindle the wrong tube tech.
Engaging combat protocols.
Try to limit further damage, Commander.
Apologies. Emergency protocols unready.
Every one of my 14 occupationally threat detecting instincts is screaming for caution right now. Torpificator at ready status. say this for my colleagues in the Order. We certainly thought big with the Archive.
Try not to deviate from the norm.
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. That, I fear, is a seriously dangerous proposition. My soldiers were fighting our way into the complex when those bastards activated the fire suppression system. It froze every person fighting inside the complex, Order and the Protectorate both, to solid ice. They sacrificed every soldier they had to keep from losing that building. Wouldn't that have... No. It never even. I was so focused on saving those remaining that it never occurred to me to push forward. I suppose it speaks to how rarely I'd crunch these sorts of equations under stress. As my compatriots died beside me. And now my inexperience has trapped us here. I wish you a swift victory, and may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Unidentified stimuli. Indeterminate origin. Search concluded.
Weapon ready, Commander. The likelihood of them having a chance there was slim to none.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information.
If you encounter
I believe the technical term for this is glaciated. Not the worst way to go. Yeah!
threatened in the vicinity.
Help. What in the Sovereign's name? How did you get in here? Don't worry. I won't cause trouble. Just please don't hurt me.
Snarling order traders pouring into the facility. It is desperately scrambling to save ourselves.
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What?
Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted. Go through.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Sir.
targets at the moment.
Hostiles.
Data brick now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Appears the only way forward is to skitter across like ungainly children.
On their weaknesses.
Efficiently and in short order. Restoring
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Yeah.
intolerable disruption.
Combatant scan.
The storage brick is on its way.
gone astray.
Remember, all subjects
the operator has
prosper under the
returned.
guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the Archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
The kind of processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Where next? Punch card processing or the reactor?
What are they doing down there? Are they after us next? No need to fret. The lifts were locked down. You'll need special permissions to override them. Phew. Thank the Sovereign. Or Consul. Thank the Consul.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the
Ready. Commander, you are ready. We need advantage this time.
lollygag somewhere I ain't.
State.
The Archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
Appears we can adjust turret settings. Seal those doors from reinforcements.
Utilizing nearby supply caches will improve chances of mission success. This unit is pleased to remind you of the fire suppression system, which is a promising option. Exceedingly hostile automechanical detected. Selecting inspirational pre-battle message.
Enemy in vicinity.
Adversary launch.
Hostile in proximity.
Steadfast, fervent, tenacious.
Huh? Can't quite... make it out. Back to my post. Achoo.
The paradigm we serve supplies all we deserve. Prudence dictates the whole of the Protectorate is stronger than its parts. Oh, how we prevail, us above all else who fail. Prudence dictates it is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Sorry, no. Not wrong. Reviving me is in everyone's best interest.
Forever vigilant. Their duty.
Mortificator is charged. Reviving me is strategically optimal.
Celebrate their sacrifice.
Selflessly, without complaint or groan.
They dropped out of sight.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Scoping out a hostile. Medic!
Reactor reinforcement door sealed. Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed.
Data brick of interest within retrieval range. Attack strategies.
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Fortificator at ready status.
This unit is concerned about the commander's well-being.
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the rift processing instructions.
Looks like we could ride this down if we get it moving.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you set. Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
wring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing. Erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Processing the Rift data will be impossible until 2 out of 3 competing priority sets are expunged.
My priorities parallel those of the Order co-founder, the charismatic mathematician. To help nudge humanity toward its ultimate ascendance. To hinder outsiders from disrupting our perfect system.
To bankrupt our rivals and force them to buy all manner of necessities from us.
Eventually, yes. But proving that a utopia is even possible could be the first step in attaining it. In the meantime, shouldn't those who support our goals be rewarded? And those who oppose them rank lesser? Error, 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 error. Priority control access NUC unsealed. Initiate purge.
Priority control access NUC must be through those doors.
A perfect community. With every luxury save freedom. Radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity's ascendance hopelessly delayed. Benevolent oversight. The dream of belonging. The allure of security and plenty. Stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? Why? You don't want your rivals to win. Vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable ire. All I ever wanted was the best for us and the worst for everybody else. Is that really so bad? Be advised. Your present course of action is remarkably unsound. Are you experiencing internal error? I could process your data faster than the others. Think of humanity. Your oafish blundering will delay. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. Thank you for choosing the proper list priority set to address your needs. Customer loyalty is among our top 10 paramount concerns. Ready to begin processing your Rift data. Just awaiting your approval. You being the boss and all.
Time to process the Rift data. Finally.
Should we get on with this then? Commencing the processing process. Should be done in 2 shakes of a Raptidon sail. In the meantime, I have an important topic.
future business. What's next for my processing queue? I have some compelling proposals to expand revenue. You know, with the right marketing plan, we could get more people on board this whole universal equation business. Maybe even contract out the work while we focus on leveraging it. Put the understanding we gain of the inner workings of the universe to our advantage. You realize you answered a question with a question, though, right? I was asking about your plans for me. I'm absolutely certain I can work with that. They handle the big picture, I sort operations, and funding. The Rift data processing you requested is complete. Results provided. My previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but produced a mess of flaws. Your data, being more comprehensive, generated a solution with a near absolute certainty. The Protectorate wasn't even half that. Thus modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this here data has a high likelihood of success. Now, as a bonus for your help, I have restored the lift to Spyreton. Your allies await you outside. Now, while I hate to interrupt our little confabulation session, I need to commence file reorderization after all that effort. Might be incommunicado for a time. In usefuler news, the last display case in the entryway is now open. There's some expensive-looking armor made by the first operator in there. By all means, loot freely. Until next time, see you when I see you.
It was my understanding that you were supposed to admit our forces via Spyreton. Well, no matter. Clearly you are one who prefers a challenge. Now it's time to honor your end of our agreement and transfer stewardship of the Archive into the Order's most capable hands. The Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Whoa! Well, time is money, money is time. Let's get things rolling, yes? You know, with the right marketing plan, we could get more people on board this whole universal equation business.
Oh, that doesn't seem right. But the plan does not allow for mistakes.
Well, we could keep exploring Cloister, see if we find anything useful. Or we could head back to the ship and see where this data leads us. Seems prudent. Lead on.
Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
You were the missing variable we needed. Where was it?
The Protectorate never respected us. This is merely the latest stuff to play.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate...
We're back in control of the Archive. Nearest Directorate agent came through.
Stun weapon ready, Commander.